Hey everybody. Or I guess I should say hello everybody and welcome, but it seems odd to be that energetic with music this chill. But this is going to be the first of probably quite a few different tier lists. My community voted that, yeah, it would be something that we would like to watch, and since this is the first game that I've ever 100%ed, it seemed like the best place to go ahead and start. So this is going to be a tier list of all the masks in Majora's Mask. Now, a little bit of criteria for how this is going to be ranked. A lot of it is going to be off aesthetic and what the particular mask does. The thing is, with a lot of these masks, they're only giving you a single heart piece, so it feels awkward to be basing them off usefulness. I'm also going to be doing it based off of the Nintendo 64 version. While this is the 3DS graphics, because that's the first one I came across that I enjoyed looking at, I'm going to be basing it off the Nintendo 64 experience rather than the 3DS, because for example, the Zora, a lot of the swimming mechanics was changed drastically from one to the other, and I kind of like how it was before. I know a lot of fans did, but let's go ahead, hop into it. I'm gonna briefly go over what the masks do as I pull them up. This way, one, it helps me remember, two, if you don't remember, it'll help you remember, and then we'll just kind of go from there. But first up, we have the All Nights Mask. Now, the All Nights Mask is used to listen to Anju's, I believe, grandmother's stories, and be able to stay awake, take the quiz, and get something from that. It doesn't really have much use than that. Personally, I don't like how the mask looks all that much, so I'm going to be popping it into C tier. It's very ominous music at the end that I completely forgot about. Next, we have the Blast Mask. Now, the Blast Mask I like a lot. Now, if you put your shield up when you detonate the Blast Mask, you don't take any damage, and I think that's actually pretty nice. So, I'm gonna put that into A tier. It's got, actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna put it into S tier. It's got a lot of versatility to it, especially if you are like me and you like to do randomizers and you don't have bombs yet. This is a lifesaver. The Brennan Mask, I believe is how it's pronounced, immediate S tier. I know that it's only used to leave the chickens around so they can mature quickly, but the song that it plays while doing so is an absolute bop, and if you disagree with me, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Next up, we have the Bunny Hood, which is honestly another S-tier mask. Again, where I like to do randomizers, it's something that allows you to be able to clear ledges that you normally wouldn't. It allows you to speed up quite a bit. We're gonna skip a little bit ahead here on this music, good lord. Alright, we're back. The Captain's Mask. I really like the look of this. I'm gonna put it into B tier because at the very least, it also has some versatility on all 3 days. You have to go into the graveyard, talk to the different skull kids so they can bash open the graves for you. Now, if you have the Bunny Hood, or as I've seen in randomizers, the Fierce Deity Mask, you only need them to open up one day, and you can typically make some of the more complicated or longer jumps because you got Mad Hopskins. Now, while the Couple's Mask is not much to look at, I'm still going to go ahead and put it into the A tier. It's used to break up the argument that is in the mayor's office, and honestly, the main reason that I'm ranking it as high as I am is because I like the backstory behind it. The Anju and Cafe side quest is probably the most lore-heavy, most involved storyline. Everybody in town, just about, is involved with this in some way or another, and I really like that personally. I think that it adds a lot of character to these people. I think it adds a lot of character to the side characters that are involved in the story as well. Like, Anju's mother. I'm assuming is the mayor's wife because of the hair that the mayor has and the hair the cafe has. I don't know if it ever explained that, but just based off of how the genetics appear, that's what I'm guessing. First up of the 3 transformation masks is the Deku mask. I'm gonna give it... I don't think that all the transformation masks are created equal, if I'm being honest. I'm going to put it into B. The fact that it is susceptible to fire, it is very small. A dog in Clocktown attacks you. You can't press switches. There's a lot of things that you can't do with the Deku mask on, and while I love the spinning and the hopping along the water, unfortunately, the cons outweigh the pros. Everybody thinks that you're a child when you're in this form, which technically you are because you're the Deku Butler's son. Fun fact. The Danjiro mask. This one I'm also going to go ahead and put into C. I like the look of it, but again, it doesn't have a whole lot of use. You use it to talk to frogs in a dungeon, and they do a concert. The only reason that I am ranking it this low is because it's a lot of hassle to be able to use this mask, because first it has to be springtime in Goron Village, then you have to go defeat the mini-bosses that the frogs are trapped in to be able to get them there. There's another frog in Clocktown that you have to talk to, and it's just a lot of effort for very little reward. Fierce Deity Mask. S tier. I'm sure everybody saw that coming. The only drawback of this, which you can easily get around with some Chateau Romani, is the fact that every swing that you make is a callback to the first Legend of Zelda game, whether you have full health or not, but it takes away from your magic, and that does make it a little bit harder to use. You kind of have to be careful with it, but again, if you know of Chateau Romani, you don't have to be careful, just swing wildly. The fighting Majora without the mask is a pain and very difficult, at least for me. With Fierce Deity, I think it can be done. The fastest I've seen has been like 35-40 seconds. It's absolutely insane. This is the Garo or Garo mask. I think it's Garo. I kinda, in all honesty, I preferred the Nintendo 64 look over the 3DS version. It's used to summon soldiers who will give you little tiny hints here and there after you defeat them in battle. The only problem is, wearing this mask after a while becomes a huge hassle. I don't think it's necessary to wear it, and if you know the game, you don't have to. Honestly, I hate to do this, I don't like this look. I like the look of the N64 better, but still not enough to put it into C. The fact that it makes enemies repeatedly spawn until you take it off is a huge detriment. Next is the Giant's Mask, and I'm actually going to put that into A as well. One, I like the Executioner style look of the mask, at least that's what pops into my head. Two, if you do not have the Fierce Deity mask yet, which you probably won't, because let's be honest, not everybody plays randomizers, this mask is one of the best ways to beat Twin Mold. Again, get yourself some Chateau Romani and just go to town because it does drain magic. There is that drawback as soon as you put it on. But the thing is, trying to beat Twin Mold without this is awful. I know because I tried and spent 15 to 20 minutes just flailing around wildly getting smacked. Next is the Gibdo mask, and while it's not much to look at, it's still going to go into B tier, and that is simply because it makes the Redeads do a dance, and I think that's fantastic. And this is the part where I said not all masks are created equal, because I'm putting the Goron mask into A. The reason being is because it is completely resistant to fire. The rolling part that it has is absolutely incredible. The only thing that sucks is that if you are anywhere near water, you sink like a stone, and that's probably because you have a rock-based diet. The Great Fairy Mask, I like the look of it, first of all. I'm going to give it S tier because it has so much versatility in every single dungeon. And some of the fairies, if I remember correctly, it has been about 2 months before I played the game, or since I played the game. I want to say that you needed to get some of them because the fairies are not going to come to you automatically. You have to wear that mask to attract them. Next up is the Cafe Mask, and again, it's gonna get an A. It's what starts off the entire Anju and Cafe side quest. If you are wearing that mask and you talk to people in town, they will give you different answers about what's going on or what they are aware of as well, so it's just kind of a cool way to get things started off. This mask, the look of the face, I mean, just look at that face. It's gonna get a B tier because it is wild to look at, but the dance that he does is kind of incredible. The Pikachu, I mean the Keaton mask is gonna get I'm gonna put it into A tier. It doesn't really do much, to be honest. It does unlock a way to get an extra heart piece, but that's it. I'm just basing it off of the look alone. Next up is the Mask of Sense. I'm gonna put it into D tier. 1, I don't like how it looks. 2, the fact that you snort when you wear it is also weird to me. And 3, it is just used for a single mushroom. Now, you do get a blue potion out of it, which is very useful, but for the most part, I don't know, I don't like it. Mask of Truth. I'm kind of upset at this mask because it was really good in Ocarina of Time. You could talk to the different gossip stones, especially if you're doing a randomizer race. They would provide different types of hints in the gossip stones, but in this, all it is just really just to win the dog track. I still like the look of it, though, and because of that, I'm gonna give it the C tier. And I do also just want to point out, 1, this is an opinion-based list, and 2, just because something is in D tier doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that I personally don't like it. Every mask in this game has some sort of use to it. You just have to play through it thoroughly enough to find out what those uses are. Next up is the Postman's Hat, and I kind of like it. Link looks kind of heckin' cute when he's wearing the mask, or the hat, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that a C tier. It allows you to get inside the mailbox to get a heart piece. It also allows you to, once you're in the milk bar, so you will need the next mask up here to get inside, but it allows you to deliver a letter to the mayor's wife on the final day, and she gives you, I believe it's another heart piece as well. I'm not 100% sure, but it's all going towards being able to 100% the game. Which brings us to the next mask. Now, this is going to get a B tier. 1, because it's a cow. I have a cow hat that I wear. It's in this room somewhere. You can see plenty of hats behind me. 2, it allows you into the milk bar, which actually has a few different side quests with the music, with Mayor Detour, I think is how you say his name's wife, with the Gorman brother. There's a lot of different things that this mask is actually opening up to you, and because of that, it's gonna get B tier. Stone Mask. Honestly, A tier. Simply, it is nothing to look at. I'm gonna be 100% honest. It is nothing to look at, but it is hella versatile. Look at it. It is ugly, but you can sneak through the entire Gerudo Fortress, aside from the rooms where the fight is absolutely necessary, and the main captain room. You can sneak through the entire thing without being noticed while wearing this mask, and that is pretty nice. The Gorman Crying Mask. Once again, it's going to be in D tier. It's not because it's a bad mask by any means. The fact that it produces real tears is kind of weird. It also doesn't do much. It does protect you if you're having trouble on day 2 Milk Road stuff. make sure to wear this mask because the Gorman brothers will not attack you while you're wearing it. And I know firsthand that the Romani side quest is rather annoying, not because it's super difficult, it's just that if you fail one portion of it, you fail everything. Kind of like the Anju and Cafe side quest. And then finally, we have the Zora mask. Now, I gotta put this in the S tier, and the reason being, yes, it's weak to fire. I get that. I don't care. One, you do Kung Fu when you're using it, which is great. Second of all, if you're playing the Nintendo 64 version and not the 3DS version, you can flipper yourself out of the water. It has a magic shield for when you're underwater. There's a lot of positives and very few negatives to this mask, and I think it's great. So, with that being said, that is our tier list. Is there anything on the list that you agree with? Anything you don't agree with? Are there any other tier lists that you would like to see me do? I'm gonna be slowly but surely transitioning the channel from just typical gameplay. There will still be gameplay on there, and quite a bit of it, personally, because it's pretty easy content, and I have a lot of fun doing it. But what other stuff would you like to see? Because I'm going to be trying to do a weekly or bi-weekly tier list. I want to be continuing with the weekly challenge videos, and I still want to do weekly DVD videos. But I need to know what you like the most on the channel so I can try to better make content that you'll come back for. So, as always, if you liked the video, if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button because it really helps me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out.